So after digestion, you have come across another process, that is absorption. Absorption takes place by means of villi as well as microvilli present in the intestine. And remember, if you take a villus, villus is a finger-like projection with columnar epithelium. The entire villus is lined by columnar epithelium here now. And this finger-like villus encloses an artery, a vein, and a lymph vessel called lacteal. So it has an artery, a vein, and a lymph vessel called lacteal. And the entire villus is surrounded by columnar epithelium. It is covered by columnar epithelium. It encloses an artery, a vein, and a lymph vessel called lacteal. Among these, artery is meant for supplying nutrients to the villus. Vein is a branch of hepatic portal system. It absorbs amino acids and sugars. Lacteal absorbs fatty acids and glycerol. Fatty acids and glycerol, since they are made up of macromolecules, they cannot seep into the vein here. They cannot penetrate into the vein. Absorption of fatty acids and glycerol takes place by means of lacteal in the presence of bile salts. Other foodstuffs are absorbed by vein. Glucose, galactose, and certain electrolytes like Cl- ions, etc., are absorbed by simple diffusion process. Okay, glucose, galactose, electrolytes like Cl- and certain simple amino acids. Simple amino acids are absorbed by simple diffusion process, Then fructose and certain complex amino acids are absorbed by facilitated diffusion process. Facilitated diffusion process that occurs with the help of certain carriers like Na+. Diffusion that takes place in the presence of certain carriers, maybe protein or Na+, are called facilitated diffusion process. So fructose and complex amino acids are absorbed by facilitated diffusion process. Glucose, galactose, electrolytes, and simple amino acids are absorbed by simple diffusion process. Now absorption of fats. How absorption of fatty acids and glycerol takes place? The fatty acids and glycerol, they combine with bile salts. They combine with bile salts in the lumen of the intestine to form micelles, to form certain soluble molecules called micelles. Now these micelles are adsorbed by the cells of villus, mucosal cells of villus. We learned just now, entire villus is surrounded by columnar epithelial cells, which are also called mucosal cells. So the mucosal cells adsorb the micelles. Now within the mucosal cells, the micelles combine with cholesterol, phospholipids, and get coated by proteins. I repeat again, within the mucosal cells, the micelles combine with cholesterol, phospholipids, and proteins to form chylomicrons. to form chylomicrons. The micelles which are coated by, which are smeared with proteins can be called chylomicrons. Now these chylomicrons by exocytosis process diffuse into lacteal. By exocytosis process, now they diffuse into lacteal. Now the lacteals carry them. Lacteals, what are lacteals? Lymph capillaries are called lacteals. Lymph capillaries embedded within the villus are called lacteals. Lacteals carry them to lymph vessels. Lymph vessels. The lymph vessels carry them or discharge them into subclavian vein. Subclavian vein. So the lymph vessels discharge the chylomicrons once again into subclavian vein. The endothelium of subclavian vein, synthesizes an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. Synthesizes an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. That lipoprotein lipase breaks down the chylomicrons into fatty acids plus glycerol. Okay, lipoprotein lipase breaks down the chylomicrons into fatty acids and glycerol. These fatty acids and glycerol are finally deposited in the body in the form of adipose tissue here now. Some of them are used up and excess amount of fatty acids and glycerol are stored either in liver or in various parts of the body in the form of adipose tissue. The absorption of fat takes place in the human body. First micelles are formed combining with the bile salts now. Micelles in the mucosal cells combine with the cholesterol, phospholipids and proteins to form chylomicrons. Chylomicrons diffuse into the lacteal. Inside the lacteals carry them into lymph vessels. Lymph vessels discharge them into subclavian vein. Subclavian vein secretes an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase that breaks down the chylomicrons into fatty acids and glycerol, which finally get deposited in the human body here now, in the form of adipose tissue.